Hi everyone, and welcome to Procast Solutions channel. I am here with a question for you all. This question is a little deep, but I'm still going to ask anyway. This is a safe space, and I was wondering, have you ever felt like you just weren't enough? Not bold enough, not fine enough, not chosen enough, or not seen enough? Like no matter what you did, you just didn't measure up. And maybe no one ever said it directly, but you felt it. And the way that people showed up, and the way that they didn't, and the way that people gave, and what they withheld. So today I want to talk about that feeling, that quiet question that follows people throughout life sometimes, which is, am I enough? And that question doesn't always present how we think it would. Sometimes it looks like overgiving your time, your attention, your energy, hoping that somehow, maybe, someone will choose you back. And sometimes it looks like staying way too long in relationships that do not serve you. They do not pour into you, yet you keep pouring into it. And sometimes it looks like overthinking, constantly replaying conversations, questioning yourself, wondering things like, did I say too much? Did I do too little? And sometimes it looks like shrinking. Yes, making yourself smaller, quieter, easier to accept, just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. And I want to talk about where this question, where these feelings can come from. Because no one just wakes up one day and decides, I'm not enough. No, that belief is learned, and it's learned from things like inconsistent love, emotional neglect, being misunderstood, being compared, being tolerated instead of truly valued. Or subtle things like always being the one that has to adjust. And a while back, I actually wrote something about this because sometimes what we feel isn't always coming out in explanation, but expression. And so I wanted to share something a little bit more personal with you all, because there was a time that I questioned this. And I want you all to know that if you ever felt like this, if you ever felt overwhelmed with these feelings and like you just need a little help, I want you to know that you do have outlets. There are many things that we can lean into in order to help us come out of that moment or just get in a better space and back to ourselves. For some, that may be community. For others, self-reflection, groups, leaning into hobbies like the gym, music. For me, I leaned into my faith, into the God that I serve. I also got into self-reflection and writing. And so I wrote this little piece, and it comes from that space, and I titled it Enough. So here goes. Have you ever felt like you weren't enough? Your quiet times got rough, and finding where you belong becomes a must. Have you ever felt like you weren't enough? Been through many people you could have possibly loved, yet being with them granted you evidence that ruled their companionship unjust. Couldn't really get past lust, and them you can't seem to trust, and every chance they get to show you you're worth it, they miss it. Albeit the task was effortless to do, it could have been as simple as time or attention dedicated to you. Now you're stuck looking for a clue. Who could you belong to? Where do you fit in? Have you ever looked for a place to get in or blend in? Search for a shoe well suited to rest your foot in? Found yourself in a 9, but you're clearly a size 10. Barefoot now and still traveling, confused by concerning delusions, feeling worthless with no clear purpose. So you try to make it work with that person or thing that just doesn't deserve it. You forgot you were something worth earning. Yet you waste your time pacifying lies, wishing to be something or somewhere other than what you are. You fail to see that you are a star, true gifts sculpted with precision, with God's intent. But have you ever felt like you weren't enough? Caught up in this infamous bluff? Well, listen to the message that my Father gave me from above. He assured me that I am loved, and enough is an understatement compared to all the instilled greatness that He gave to me. There's no need to search blindly for placement without gainsaying. I can ask what intent He sent for me in the name of the one who redeems. And I think that we should all let go of thoughts of negativity. Don't give in to mental captivity. In this moment, I declare that I am set free. And surely you are worth it. To everything, there is a purpose. So quit the search to be something else. God knows what he's doing. He doesn't need your help. And never forget to trust in him and not men. And in time, your purpose experiences growth and you'll find just where to go. I promise you, your light will always show. And whether you're alone or surrounded by friends, never forget that you are more than enough, especially to him. And so guys, when I wrote this piece, I was in a season where I felt inadequate. I felt like I wasn't enough. And that feeling of searching, trying to figure out where you fit in, who you belong to, what space will finally feel like home, trying people, trying places, trying different versions of yourself too that don't even feel like you. That is exhausting. And not just because it weighs on you, but because it was never the thing that was going to make you feel enough in the first place. And the truth is, you don't become enough by being chosen by someone or thing. You don't become enough by being accepted by others. And you don't become enough by shrinking or reshaping yourself just to fit into spaces that do not honor you. No, you already are enough. The problem is you've been looking for confirmation in places that were never meant to define you. But even though that's the truth, when you don't feel it, it shows up everywhere. When you don't feel like you're enough, it affects everything. The way that you love, the way that you work, the way that you show up for yourself, you second guess your decisions, you start to tolerate things that you shouldn't, you stay in cycles that drain you. Because part of you may believe that this is the best that I can do or get. And I think that's the belief that really needs to be challenged. Because feeling like you're enough isn't something that can be given to you. It's something that's built by you. And you do it by choosing yourself, honoring your limits, walking away from things that diminish you, and constantly, consistently reminding yourself who you are, even on days that you don't feel like it. And for me, that grounding came from knowing that my worth was never dependent on someone else's ability to recognize it, because it was already placed within me with intention, with purpose, and with design. And the same goes for you. So if you've ever been feeling like you're not enough, if you've been searching, questioning, trying to find what you need, hear me clearly. You are not something that needs to be completed by anyone or anything outside of yourself. You are not something that needs to be reshaped just to be accepted. You already are, because you're not just enough, you are intentional. And anything placed with intention has purpose. And so just a reminder, guys, clarity reminds you you are always enough. And stability begins the moment that you believe it. And so that's just what I wanted to say today, guys. If you have any comments, concerns, or questions, leave it in the comment section. And until next time, bye. Oh, wait. Bye.